As a child, I like to, I didn't want to be, I wanted to be nice. I wanted to be really nice as a child. I invented a lot of things, and I had a lot of people working for me, and so there's a lot of things that I saw, like how horses were being, they use a simple strap around the thing. Sometimes they use a slightly thicker strap, and then they were expecting horses to pull these loads and stuff. And I looked at that one day, and I thought, well, maybe because I had steam, and I had diesel, or I was gonna have diesels. I think I had steam at the time, and just steam at the time, and I was thinking, well, a lot of people have horses too, so I thought, well, I should offer, and I think I thought of a way to link up two horses one day. One day I was just sitting there, and I was thinking, I was like, this might pull on a horse better than a horse could make a turn with this rig, maybe, because otherwise it's just a steel beam, and I don't know how horses, I thought, let's just go ahead and try it. And so, like, there was a horsepower leveling system where they used two triangles, one connected to each bridle, and then there was the triangle, with the one little thing, and then I was thinking a horse could make turns that way and stuff. And then so then I think I asked for a person or someone to come up with a bridle or a way to so the horse could pull more amount, or so the weight would be equalized around the horse's shoulders, equally, and so people could get more horsepower out of their horses, and some sort of strap set up, where it support the horse's back and neck, and so the horse could pull whatever, and I asked for a research team to look into that, like quite a couple people, and then I wanted it to be offered with my tractors, and I even wanted to have a certain amount of units that, like a, because I had a wide range of steam tractors coming out anyway, or out anyway, and trailers as well. There's like the small trailers, the bigger trailers, and then a range of trailers that were needed at farms. So one of the things that I wanted was people, if they couldn't afford a tractor, they could buy a bridle setup, a way to like support their horses, their existing horses, an update to your existing horses, where they could pull more and stuff, and would pull evenly and stuff like that. And so I believe I had someone hire someone to, someone who knew about horses, take a look at a horse, and see how much they could pull on a horse, and if they could make that more comfortable. And the different little things, little horse, go horse, you know, and that would be offered with my tractors, of course, inside the same showrooms, and because there's going to be a wide range of farm implements, that would be offered. So, because I had blacksmith shops anyway, so I was like, well, why don't we go ahead and try and offer this to people as well, along with the tractors, So there'd be like a small little ripper set up that could be pulled by a horse, the different ways that people with a little bit of amount of money could still run a farm. They wouldn't have to be like the big boy, the big company that I am, where it's rippers and and everything else. If they just had like just the horse and just a little bit of money, they could scrape it together and get one of those little right along things. And that's why I wanted so many range. I wanted a range of things to be offered in my stores, my farming stores, not just one thing. Not just the big tractors, but like you could go and you could get like a little thing you sit on and plow with and stuff like that. I wanted that to be offered too, along with the bridle setup and all that, and the tractors. So you'd walk into a showroom. I never saw the showroom, of course, because it was just done. And depending on your country, you would, I had a couple people set up. And anyway, it was really, really popular. I believe Allison's, Al, whatever. I think they were like, I had 2 or 3 companies and like 6 blacksmith shops making these bridles or whatever, and a couple leather people. It was one of the things, that, I had the steam tractors and stuff, and I think I might have even asked for an elephant one, but I also wanted them to also be universal to some extent, so depending on the horse size, so even a donkey could use it possibly, you'd have like a couple different sizes or whatever. I didn't know anything about horses at the time, and I was just like, I want to offer this. And so I'm pretty sure a team got together and designed something, and for the horse part, and I did the whole little horsepower leveling system, which was the triangle, simple setup to do. Um, and because I was big into steam and I was into diesels as well, and I wanted, people without a lot of money to be able to still take advantage of stuff. So, because a lot of the stuff is kind of like universal. And even and I even kept that backwards compatibility when we went over to diesels, because a lot of the belt driven stuff that was being used with the steam stuff before was also available to be used with the diesel stuff. It still had the same belt stuff on a lot of the models, and that was really big with me. And the rivets and stuff. I just wanted to have this thing. I was a child, and I was like, I want it to be like this. And so my people got together, and worked it out to where, this stuff would still be offered in my stores. And in the end, I don't know how many stores I had. I mean, they're I guess I was hugely successful. But it's like, okay. I mean, because, I was offering a full range. You could go to one of my stores depending on where they were. And I have no idea even where they were. They were just making these things, and it was just offered like this in my stores. They just did it, and then it just be like, I don't, I know for quite a few years they made bridles, and they made stuff, and they made farm implements, and it was really hugely successful. But I never really saw any of it. It was just done. And I suppose I became really rich, or I'm really rich. Like, it's just something that I thought would be cool to do, and like I invented the horse leveling system and all that triangle. It's just a triangle. It's not a big deal, really. But you could hook it up to like a little ride-on plow device, which is featured, you see them all over the place, and you could plow your field with a horse, and a bridle. Or whatever, there's also the kind where you just use the little thing, whatever. Anyway, a couple different options, of course. It's just a blacksmith shop. I think I had six blacksmith shops of various sizes. I don't know. Like I said, I don't know. I just know that I wanted it offered. It was offered, and now I'm here, kind of like thing. I really wanted it to be offered in like a store. Like this. I had this whole idea of this whole like a store. Where you could get like steam or diesel or like and the different size tractors as well, because I wanted to go for like the sales market, not just me having everything. I wanted to sell to the public, or to the people, and so and I had a wide variety of ideas as far as saws and stuff, and I kind of wanted my people work that out. So anyway, so they offered bridles. A researcher, I believe, a world-renowned whatever came, and they did some tests with horses to get the best pulling force and all that. And I believe it was made up inside of a leather shop for quite a few years. They patented it. They did it really nicely. The horses were happy. It was widely sold, as far as I know, hugely popular. Worked really well, as far as I know. And a lot of people bought them. I might have sold more bridles than I sold tractors, actually, I think, because anybody could, horses are nearly free. You can just breed them and you can have them. So there were a lot of horses, I'm pretty sure. And I own the company that made the best bridles for them. The best, most comfy bridles. And I actually wanted it so there's a really nice bridle that was really done up really nice, so authentic, whatever. And then there was the no thrills, normal, just leather bridle that wasn't really stained, because one of them had to be dyed and stuff. Another one was just like, here's your leather, here's your bridle. But it was still padded, of course, still comfy for the horse. I was really, really fussy about that. I was like, I want it to be comfy for the horse, because I don't want to hurt horses here. Because I thought the strap was kind of cruel and mean, and how could you get any real power out of that anyway? It just makes more sense that the horse could pull harder, with his head in this thing, and an equal force on all sides or whatever. Anyway, but yeah, huge. I think it was huge. I don't know. Like I said, it was just like, poof, it's done, and it's like, it was. I never got to see a showroom. I think there might be pictures of my showroom with the bridles and everything somewhere out there, somewhere. I don't know. But anyway, but yeah, I mean, it was sold. They were sold Britain, America, wherever my stores were. These bridles were being sold with the tractors, if they're available, when they're available, and so farmers could have their own farms and everything. And anyway, but yeah, anyway, and the rest is history, as they say. Kind of funny. I don't know. I mean, they sold a lot of tractors, so if they sold a lot of tractors, I don't know. I guess they sold even more. I think they sold more bridles than they sold tractors, I guess. I don't know. And my horsepower leveling system. I just love the idea of getting the most horsepower out of your horse. A bridle. Compared to now. Yes, I did have the first horsepower mod. It's true. Guinness Book of World Records, maybe for the first, get the most out of your horse. Anyway, yeah, it's funny, but it's true, and they were sold with the stores. I guess, I don't know. Anyway, yeah, never really got to see it. At least I got to see them be used.